What if I told you that in just 3 days you could start becoming a completely different person? Not by luck, not by chance, but by changing one simple thing: the way you talk to yourself. Most people wake up every day and unconsciously rehearse the same story. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Nothing ever works out for me. And because they believe these words, their brain follows orders and creates a reality that matches. But what if, for the next 3 days, you spoke to yourself in a way that rewired your mind for greatness? Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I am capable, I am powerful, and I am transforming right now." Instead of thinking, "Nothing ever works out for me," say, "Everything is working in my favor, life is happening for me, not to me." Instead of waking up feeling stuck in the past, declare, "I am no longer my past, I am becoming my future." At first, your mind will resist. It will try to convince you that you're lying to yourself. That's because your brain is addicted to old thoughts and feelings. But if you persist, if you talk to yourself like the person you want to become, your brain will start accepting it as truth. The secret is not just in saying the words, but in feeling them. Imagine the best version of yourself: confident, successful, joyful. How does that version of you think? How does that version of you speak? If you feel the emotions of your future self, your body won't know the difference between imagination and reality. By the 3rd day, something shifts. You wake up feeling different. Your energy changes. Your actions change. And because of that, your reality begins to change. So for just 3 days, talk to yourself like the person you are becoming. Speak with intention, speak with power, speak like your future depends on it, because it does. And watch how your entire world starts to transform. Would you like any adjustments or refinements to match a specific tone or audience? The way you think is not just a passive process, it is the blueprint for your entire reality. Every thought you think sends a signal to your brain, and your brain responds by creating a chemical reaction that makes you feel a certain way. Those feelings then shape your actions, and your actions shape your experiences. Over time, repeated thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs form the foundation of your life. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'm not lucky, I don't have what it takes," your brain accepts those statements as commands. It looks for evidence to support them and reinforces the cycle. You start to see obstacles instead of opportunities, limitations instead of possibilities. Eventually, your external world reflects what you've been telling yourself all along. But the opposite is also true. When you start choosing different thoughts, "I am capable, I am worthy, my life is changing for the better," you shift the entire process. Your brain produces different chemicals, your emotions shift, and you start acting in ways that align with this new version of yourself. You begin to attract new experiences, new people, and new opportunities that match your elevated mindset. Your thoughts are not random, and they are not powerless. They are the driving force behind the life you experience. The question is, are you thinking thoughts that create the life you want, or are you unconsciously recreating the past? Change the way you think, and your reality will begin to change with it. Most people don't realize that their biggest enemy isn't the outside world, it's the voice inside their own head. Negative self-talk is like a program running in the background, shaping your beliefs, your emotions, and ultimately, your destiny. The problem is, this program was installed long before you were even aware of it. It came from past experiences, societal conditioning, and moments of failure or rejection that left an imprint on your mind. Over time, these thoughts became automatic. "I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. Nothing ever changes for me." The more you repeat these thoughts, the stronger they become. Your brain creates neural pathways that reinforce the negativity, making it feel normal, even comfortable. But just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's true. It's simply a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. The first step is awareness. You have to catch yourself in the act. Every time you notice a negative thought creeping in, stop and challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really true, or is this just an old story I've been telling myself? The next step is replacement. Don't just silence the negative voice. Override it with something new. Instead of "I can't do this," say "I am learning and growing every day." Instead of "I always fail," say "Every setback is a setup for a breakthrough." At first, it may feel unnatural. Your brain will resist because it's been wired to expect the worst. But the more you practice, the weaker the old patterns become. With consistency, your inner dialogue shifts from one of doubt and limitation to one of confidence and possibility. And when that happens, everything in your life starts to move in a new direction. You are not your negative thoughts. You are the one who chooses them, and you have the power to choose differently. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant and nurture will grow. If you constantly feed it thoughts of doubt, fear, and limitation, those weeds will take over, shaping your reality in ways you don't even realize. But if you consciously plant seeds of confidence, success, and possibility, your entire inner world starts to transform. This is where the power of affirmations and visualization comes in. Affirmations are not just words, they are commands to your subconscious mind. When you repeatedly tell yourself, "I am strong, I am capable, I am becoming the best version of myself," your brain starts to believe it. The more you affirm something with conviction, the more it rewires your neural pathways, making that belief feel natural. But the key is to say them with emotion. Empty words won't create change. Feeling the truth behind them will. Visualization takes this process even further. Your brain does not distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. When you close your eyes and see yourself already achieving your goals, walking with confidence, speaking with power, living the life you desire, your brain fires the same neural circuits as if it were happening in reality. The more you repeat this, the more your mind starts working toward making that vision real. Most people wait until they see results to believe in themselves. But the truth is, you must believe first and the results will follow. By consistently using affirmations and visualization, you begin to shift from hoping something will happen to knowing it's inevitable. Your actions align with your new mindset, and suddenly, the life you once dreamed of starts unfolding right in front of you. Most people live their lives in survival mode, constantly reacting to circumstances, feeling stuck in stress, fear, and uncertainty. In survival mode, the brain is wired for protection, always scanning for danger, always expecting the worst. This state keeps you trapped in the past, repeating the same patterns because your body is addicted to familiar emotions like anxiety, frustration, or self-doubt. When you operate from survival, you are not creating your future. You are simply reliving your past on repeat. But there is another way. You can shift from survival to creation mode. In creation mode, you no longer react to life, you design it. You wake up with a vision of who you want to become and act from that future instead of your past. Instead of letting external circumstances control your emotions, you choose your emotional state first. Instead of waiting for something outside of you to change, you decide to be the cause of change. The key is awareness. The moment you catch yourself falling into stress, fear, or negativity, stop and shift. Ask yourself, am I reacting to my old self, or am I stepping into my new self? Then, consciously choose different thoughts, different emotions, and different actions that align with your desired future. It's not about forcing positivity, it's about becoming intentional with your energy. When you shift into creation mode, you stop repeating the past and start building something new. Your mind becomes a tool for innovation, possibility, and expansion. You begin to attract opportunities instead of obstacles. You move from feeling powerless to realizing that you are the architect of your life. The only question is, are you ready to create? Transformation does not happen in a single moment. It happens through repetition. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is reinforcing something in your brain. The question is, are you reinforcing the old version of yourself, or are you wiring in a new one? Most people expect change to happen instantly, but the brain doesn't work that way. Your mind is like a muscle. It strengthens whatever you use the most. If you've spent years doubting yourself, playing small, or expecting failure, those neural pathways are deeply ingrained. The only way to override them is through consistent, deliberate repetition of new thoughts, new emotions, and new behaviors. At first it feels unnatural. Telling yourself, I am confident, I am successful, I am worthy, might feel like a lie because your brain is still wired to the old story. But if you persist, if you repeat these new affirmations, visualize your future, and act as if it's already happening, your brain will start to accept it as truth. The more you repeat it, the more automatic it becomes, until one day it no longer feels like something you're trying to believe. It feels like who you are. Repetition is the bridge between who you are now and who you are becoming. Every time you choose a new thought over an old one, you are taking a step toward your transformation. And the moment your new mindset becomes second nature, your external world will begin to reflect the change. The process is simple, but most people quit too soon. The secret is to stay consistent. Repetition rewires you, and once you're rewired, nothing can stop you. Most people believe they need to see results before they feel successful, confident, or happy. They wait for their circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel different. But this is backward. If you want to create a new reality, you must first generate the emotion of that reality before it happens. Your brain and body do not know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you close your eyes and fully step into the feeling of your desired future, whether it's abundance, love, or success, your brain begins to rewire itself to match that future. It starts firing new neural connections, sending new signals to your body, and shifting your entire state of being. You are no longer just wishing for change, you are becoming the person who already has it. The key is to practice feeling the emotions of your future every day. Instead of waiting for external proof, generate the feeling now. How would you walk if you already had the success you desire? How would you speak if you already felt deeply confident? How would you carry yourself if your dreams were already a reality? The more you embody these emotions, the more your subconscious mind accepts them as truth. And when your thoughts, emotions, and energy align with your vision, life has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Opportunities appear, synchronicities happen, and things start shifting in ways you never expected. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So before the reality appears, feel it, live it, and become it. The future you want is waiting. It's just waiting for you to step into it. Talk to yourself like this for just 3 days. What if I told you that in just 3 days you could start becoming a completely different person? Not by luck, not by chance, but by changing the way you talk to yourself. Every single day, most people wake up and unconsciously repeat the same inner dialogue. I'm not good enough. I'll never change. Things never work out for me. These thoughts aren't just harmless words. They are programming your mind, shaping your emotions, and defining your future. The more you think them, the stronger they become. And before you know it, your reality reflects the very things you've been telling yourself all along. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are not just passive ideas floating in your mind. They are instructions to your brain, and your brain responds by creating the emotions and behaviors that match. If you keep telling yourself the same old story, you will keep living the same old life. But the moment you decide to change that story, everything starts shifting. For just 3 days, I challenge you to talk to yourself in a way that aligns with the person you want to become. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I am capable, I am powerful, and I am transforming right now. Instead of thinking, nothing ever works out for me, say, everything is happening in my favor. Instead of waking up feeling stuck in the past, declare, I am no longer my past, I am becoming my future. At first your mind will resist. It will try to convince you that you're lying to yourself because it's addicted to the old way of thinking. But repetition is the key to transformation. The more you affirm your new identity, the more your brain starts to accept it as reality. And when you combine these words with emotion, when you feel the confidence, the success, the joy, your entire state of being shifts. This is how you move from survival mode to creation mode. Instead of reacting to life, you begin designing it. Instead of waiting for something outside of you to change, you generate the change from within. When you visualize your ideal future and embody the emotions of that future before it happens, you send a powerful signal to your brain. This is who I am now. And when your mind accepts this new identity, your actions follow. Your choices change, your energy changes, and suddenly, life begins to unfold in a completely different way. Most people wait until they see results to believe in themselves, but the truth is you must believe first and the results will follow. So for just 3 days, talk to yourself like the person you are becoming. Speak with intention, speak with power, speak like your future depends on it, because it does. And watch how your entire world begins to transform.